Hey guys, today I'm doing this look for you, which is a kind of bronzy skin, but it's a little bit vampy. I'm not sure how to describe it. I really like it though. So it's kind of a little bit of like a retro Hollywood look, but I've kept the skin more bronzed and fresh and glowy. I have got tan on. I don't know if you can tell, I'm looking a little bit more tanned and bronzed than usual. And I really like how it looks with the kind of deep red lip. This is one of the RIMMEL Provocalips lip thingy creamy things, super duper long wearing. I am going out tonight. I'm going out for some drinks with the girls. I'm very excited. Yeah, so I think it's just a really fun kind of night out makeup look, and hopefully it's super duper long wearing. So if you want to see how to get this look, then just keep watching. Starting with bare skin in all its glory. Today I am going straight into foundation, so I'm not doing any primer, and I'm mixing a little bit of the Arbonne Perfecting Liquid and the Urban Decay Naked Skin, but to be honest, I pretty much just used the Urban Decay Naked Skin because the colour was a better match. I really like this foundation. It's one of those very thin, kind of dry oil, very liquidy but very pigmented foundations. It made my skin look super glowy. I only needed a little bit and it spread really well. Coverage was great, it lasted well on me. Obviously this colour is a little bit too dark for me to wear with my natural skin, but I'm definitely going to go and buy a lighter colour, wear it for a little while and test it out and give you a proper review. But so far, really liking it. Moving on to the eye primer. You probably know at this point I like to do the eyeshadow primer at this stage so that I can put it onto my lower lash line as well, so it acts as a primer for my concealer. And for my concealer today, I am using MAC's Studio Finish in NW20. I really like this under my eyes, but I know a lot of people don't, so it really depends on your skin type. I find it works really well, especially if you have eyeshadow primer on underneath it to stop it from creasing, but it gives really gorgeous coverage. And I'm also popping that around my nose where I'm a little bit red, and also on my chin because I do get a bit red there too sometimes. I'm setting everything with my Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powder in Ethereal Light with a really dirty brush. There's like eyeliner on that, I think. And I'm using the pointy end of the brush just to set right up under the eyes first and then dust it all over. I love this stuff. It makes my skin look really luminous and smooth. And you gotta take a break for a Ferrero Rocher. So tasty. For my bronzer today, I'm using the Hourglass Luminous Bronze. This is the lighter of the two bronzers they have out. As with the powder, I love this stuff. Hourglass really make beautiful products. It's really pigmented and a lot darker than you might imagine in the pan, so a little bit goes a long way. But it's so easy to blend that even if you do put too much on, it's very easy to kind of blend it out and make it look smooth. And I'm just popping that right around kind of the outside of my face into my hairline and around my chin just to make it look all sun-kissed. And for my contour and highlight today, I'm going to be using the Australis AC on Tour palette. I'm using the coolest shade to contour under my cheekbones first. I think this product is fantastic. The pigment is great, very blendable, and great price point as well. It's about $17 here in Australia. And I'm also bringing that under my chin just to minimize the double chin, all the damage that the Ferrero Rocher did. And I'm also bringing that onto my forehead because I find when I part my hair in the center like this, my forehead tends to look absolutely enormous. So I like to contour around the very top of it just to bring it down a notch. For my blush, I'm using NARS ORGASM, which is a blush I keep flip-flopping about. I wrote a post about whether it was worth the hype and I concluded that it was not, but you know what? I actually really love it. It definitely suits me better when I have some tan on, but it just gives a really lovely kind of fresh rosiness with a bit of a gold sheen to the skin. Onto the brows, I'm not doing anything special today. I'm just using my ANASTASIA Brow Wiz as per usual, just brushing all the hairs up and then using the pencil to give myself a little bit more structure and just make my brows look better, basically. I'm not really going any thicker than my natural brows are, although it probably looks like it, but my hairs are so fair that you can't really see where the hairs are on camera. Trust me, they are there somewhere. And then I'm taking this MODELCO brow palette, which has got 3 different shades of brow powder and a brow wax in it. And I'm just kind of mixing the 3 powders together and using a separate angle brush. You do get an angle brush with the kit, but the handle is so tiny, it's quite difficult to use. So I'm using my MAC angle brush.
Yeah, it does a pretty good job. Back to the highlight and contour palette, I'm taking the lightest matte highlight shade and just popping that right between my eyebrows and the center of my forehead. And then the more shimmery highlight color, I'm popping that right on the very tops of my cheekbones and my brow bone. And I'm using quite a small brush for this because I want to be quite precise with this application. And I'm also popping it on the tip of my nose and a little bit on my Cupid's bow. Back to the bronzer, using a soft eyeshadow brush, I'm popping that onto the lower lash line just to give myself a bit of a sultry, kind of sexy, blown out eyeshadow down there, and that bronzy color is going to help to make my eye color pop. I've got kind of greeny bluey eyes. And then for my eyeshadow, I'm using one of the Revlon PHOTOREADY palettes. This is Metropolitan. I've used this in quite a few tutorials actually. I really love this palette. I come back to it all the time. And I'm just using my finger to take the very lightest color. This is what they describe as the primer shade. And I'm popping that pretty much all over the moving part of my eyelid. I find your finger puts on a bit more product and you don't get as much fallout. So that's a good tip. And then using a flat, stiff brush, I'm taking that kind of greeny brown duochrome shade and packing that onto the outside half of my eye. And you can see the pigment is not phenomenal in these shadows and you do get quite a bit of fallout. So I can see why a lot of people don't like these shadows, but I don't know what it is. It just looks so beautiful on the skin. Like, it's not a very dramatic palette, but it just gives this gorgeous, sultry, warm, bronzy shadow on the skin. I absolutely love it. I'm just using a softer eyeshadow brush just to buff out the edge of that eyeshadow. And I love it. I don't know what it is. I just love it. And I'm going back into that lightest color that I used first and just popping that right around the inside corner into my tear duct as a highlight. For my eyeliner today, I'm using the L'Oreal Infallible Black Gel Eyeliner, and I'm popping that on with an angled brush. And I wanted my liner to be thin, definite but thin. So I find when you come at an angle from below your eyes, so I'm holding the brush quite vertically, I find that that always gives a much thinner line than if you come at a more horizontal angle. And I'm using my lashes as a guide, so I'm almost resting the brushes against my lashes so I don't go too thick. And I'm doing a little bit of a flick. This is a small flick for me. And I'm also taking that eyeliner on my upper waterline. Onto mascara. Today I'm using MAC's Haute and Naughty. I'm always tempted to say hot and naughty, but I'm pretty sure it's haute, like haute couture. And I'm using the pink side, which is the more natural side. It doesn't put as much product on. And I'm getting that on my top and bottom lashes. I'm using this side because I'm going to be popping on false lashes. Today for lashes, I'm using Ardell DEMI Wispies, although you would never be able to tell from that terrible camera shot. And I'm popping them on with the tweezers and some duo adhesive, and you gotta make funny faces when you're popping on false lashes. It's just the law. And then you gotta make a really pleased face with yourself when it works for the first time, because that never happens. And just running a little bit of eyeliner along the base of the lashes to disguise where they are glued. Onto the lips. As I said at the start of the video, I'm using one of the Rimmel Provocalips lip stain thingies. This is in the color 550, which is Play with Fire. It is the most beautiful, cool toned cherry red, like a deep cherry red, really phenomenal color. This lasted all night on me. It didn't wear off through eating and drinking and just like talking all night. Such a beautiful color. And I'm just kind of getting most of the product on with the doe foot applicator, but then taking a separate brush just to perfect the edge, especially on the top lips, just to make sure that the Cupid's bow is symmetrical and everything. And then I'm using an angle brush with a little bit of concealer just to kind of clean up the bottom lip and anywhere where it might be a little bit smudgy, because I'm not using any lip liner, so this is how I'm going to get that crisp edge. Make sure you don't have it on your teeth, you're good. And then the final touch, I haven't done this in ages, I'm gonna pop some freckles across my nose. I just think this looks so good when you've got glowy skin. It makes your skin look even more natural because it looks like they're your own freckles peeking through. And I don't know, I just love it. So I'm using my brow pencil just to kind of randomly dot it across my nose, the planes of my face, and also my cheekbones, wherever the sun would hit you naturally.
And that's the finished look. So I really hope you enjoyed watching this tutorial, guys. It's actually a fairly simple look to do, and I'm pretty happy with how it came out. So I have got to run out the door now. It is coming up to 6 o'clock. I'm meeting the girls very soon for some tapas and some wine. I'm very excited. I hope you have a wonderful day wherever you are, whatever you're doing. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you very soon. Bye.